Joining us now, the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass. Madam Mayor, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me on.
Why is there more active duty National Guard troops being activated in Los Angeles?
Well, I have to ask the question differently. Why were they ever activated? Why were they federalized to begin with when we never had a problem that really required that? The governor is very accessible. We're in communication and collaboration with him all the time. If we needed the National Guard, we would have called them. So you are correct that there have been no problems over the last few days. The last time there were problems was Sunday. There were a few. There have been no arrests Monday and Tuesday. I lifted the curfew yesterday. Last night was peaceful. But, you have to think we never needed them to begin with. Now, we also know that there's 2,000 Marines somewhere in the region. And so the question is, why all of this show of force when things were never out of hand? Los Angeles is 500 square miles. The protests consumed about 2 square miles, about 5 blocks in downtown LA. But unfortunately, it's been portrayed as though there was mass chaos throughout the city. It was never true.
Why do you think, I'm going to ask you to answer your own question. Why do you think they were federalized?
Well, I'll tell you what it's felt like in Los Angeles. It's felt like we're part of a grand experiment. What happens? How far will the public tolerate the federal government intervening and seizing power from a governor? And I think it's being tried out here. I think it's no secret that there was tension between the governor and the president. And I just think it's so unfortunate that we were the test case for this, considering that we are a city of immigrants, considering that there are sectors of our economy that are completely dependent on immigrant labor. And this was just not a problem before the raids took place. There were problems in LA once the raids happened, but they were problems that were completely manageable by local law enforcement. So there was no reason for this drama. We also feel like we're a part of a reality TV show. I mean, it's just, when you see what's happening on the ground, it's shocking to see the portrayal from the president and then to see what's on the ground. And it's night and day.
The administration will argue that they're trying to do immigration enforcement, that they are trying to round up criminals, and that they are having a hard time doing so because of Angelenos who are getting in their way and a city government, state government that's refusing to help keep them safe as they go through with these immigration raids. Is there any truth to that?
There is absolutely no truth to that. But let me just tell you, back to the criminals, back to the gang members, back to the drug dealers, that's not what we're seeing here. We're seeing here people who have gone to work, in some cases, people who are legal, and they're showing up for their immigration appointments that they're required to do once a year, and they're being detained. It's hard for me to believe that a day laborer, somebody who hangs out at a Home Depot hoping for a day's work, is the drug dealer or the gang member. And so it just doesn't match. Now, the other thing is that they're taking people away, and the people that are detained have no access to legal counsel. Their families don't know where they are. So just think about the human toll for a minute. Your husband, your wife, your kid goes to work or school, and the child doesn't know whether the parent will be home when they come home. The parents don't know whether they will be allowed back. Father's Day was Sunday. We had missing fathers in the city where people do not know where they are. The human toll, the economic toll. I was in a central part of the Mexican-American community on Father's Day, and it was a ghost town. People were not in restaurants. They were not at the town center. And this is not just Latinos who are being detained. Asians are being detained. And frankly, given that we are a city of immigrants and immigrants from all countries, anybody is subject to being detained. And that's why it's created a pall over the city of fear. Also, our troops. Why do you have these young people here who have to miss work, miss school, leave their families, and they're here for no reason? In some instances, and I'm sure you've seen the pictures, in some instances, sleeping on the floor of the federal building. Why are we doing this to them?
I want to ask you about an offshoot of this, which I think is important. Obviously, I was out there, I think, as you know, covering the fires in my hometown of the Palisades and the utter devastation there. And fire is always a threat to California broadly, a threat to Los Angeles as well. And we saw that with the Palisades and the Eaton fires. Governor Gavin Newsom expressed real concern about what these ICE raids and these ICE deployments are doing for the ability to fight fires. And here's how he links the two. With peak fire season right on the horizon, we need all available boots on the ground to protect communities. President Trump's illegal militarization of Los Angeles is sidelining crucial firefighting and prevention resources. More than half of Task Force Rattlesnake. It's time to end the chaos and get California's National Guard back to this important work. Can you elaborate on that? How has the administration co-opted fire resources?
Well, let me just say that when the fires happened, the devastation happened in Palisades, which was the only area of Los Angeles that was impacted. Altadena and Malibu are not in the city of Los Angeles.
They're in the county.
When that happened,
Yep.
yes, in the county. When that happened, the governor was right there, sending the National Guard to Los Angeles. They were here for an extended period of time, and we were very appreciative of that. The point is that when we need the National Guard, he's always willing to send them. And so now you have this massive deployment, and it's in the thousands. So when fire season happens again, will they be available? You know, it's an example of really misappropriation of resources and draining our resources as a state. When we need them, they need to be readily available.
Mayor Karen Bass, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me on.